Hello, everybody, and welcome back for episode number 3. And yes, this is still the setup here until an IT guru comes over to help me with this. This is how it'll be. So, I first off wanted to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has watched. Thank you to everyone who has offered me advice. I was actually pleasantly surprised the feedback that I got from this, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Every response I got was from a place of care, and I appreciate that more than you know. I have taken them all in consideration. I do not know at this point still what I want to do. I am a believer in the universe and alignment. I have had a ton of universal signs this week that point me in the direction to to reach out to him. And I think I will. I just don't know how I want to approach it, and I don't know what I exactly want to gain out of it. I don't want to, I guess, scare him off. I don't know if that's the right term, but I don't want him to think that I'm just reaching out because I have to get back together with him or anything like that. I don't want it to seem as though that's what it is. I really just want to figure out why my feelings are still so strong there. I just feel like something's left undone there, and I don't know what that is. And I can't answer that until I figure it out, and I need to take that time to really process what I want to do in this situation. But like I said, I appreciate every single one of you and your opinions. It's nice to have an outsider sometimes, especially when your girlfriends hear you talk about the same thing over and over again, right? And and I had quite a few guys, give their opinions, and I respect that too, because I need that. At this point, I'm just gonna carry on with what I'm doing in my life, and it'll happen in divine timing, and I'll figure it out. So with that being said, I wanted to share something that kind of goes along with that. I think that, I talked about at the end of our relationship, a lot of his argument was that my drinking was really bad, and he wasn't wrong. I think that I cried out for help a little bit, and maybe he didn't understand how bad it was for me because I didn't act like it was a real problem, but it was. And that hadn't changed in the last couple of years that we haven't been together. In April, I decided to make that decision to just cut it out of my life completely. I have been alcohol free for 89 days, and I could not be more proud of myself. If you guys know me personally, you know that that is a huge freaking deal for me, and I don't even know how I'll be celebrating, but I do know that I am having lunch with two very dear friends of mine on Sunday, and it's a huge thing for me, and I don't plan to ever drink again. It does not bother me that other people do, and I'm not judging people for it. Listen, I've been there and done it before, and for me, it was too easy to just grab and drink when I would come home from work, and it was controlling my life. I mean, I would think about it like at 4:00 at work. I would be like, oh man, only an hour until I get home, and I can crack open that beer or whatever. And I would, I don't know, surf social media, get on TikTok live, jump in other people's TikTok lives, and things like that. And what I realized is that I was wasting so much time doing that. I mean, I have wanted to do this podcast for 2 years, and I could have been doing it for 2 years if I wasn't allowing that alcohol to control my life. And I don't know that anybody that knew me knew how bad the problem was. They probably didn't. I would say that I was a functioning alcoholic. I mean, I was still getting up every day almost and doing my workouts, going to work, doing my thing. It didn't really affect me in that manner. But to be real, my clarity, I mean, I didn't know how foggy I was. I did not know how clouded my judgment was, just day-to-day decisions, and I couldn't think straight. And 89 days in, I'm like, man, it is like a whole new world out here. And I also, if anybody has any interest in maybe, eliminating alcohol from their life or slowing it down, I recommend The Naked Mind. It is an amazing book. I just listen to it because sometimes when I read, my brain goes crazy on a little ADD brain. So I like to listen to audiobooks, but I do recommend that one highly. I was shocked at how bad alcohol really is for us. And I think that we all know that as humans, right? We know that alcohol isn't great for us, but really getting down to all like the ingredients that are in it and how bad it is and what it really does to your body and your brain, it's bad stuff. But like I said, I'm not here to judge you. You do you, but I do me over here, and I feel so much better about myself and the things that I'm able to do that, maybe I had to force myself to do before because I just didn't have that energy or the gumption to do it because I was drinking all the time. And then, of course, then it makes me think back to, my relationship that ended, and that was a lot of it. It was because I'm not the person that, if Sarah calls me up and says, "Hey girl, want to go grab a beer?" Yeah. And I'm going to drink 8 instead of 1. Like I am the person that drinks until, and I'm not saying until I throw up or pass out or anything like that, but until like I'm to that level where I'm like, okay, I have a real good buzz and either I'm going to pass out or, so it was, I was even getting to the point where I was going down the street here to, a local restaurant bar and just sitting there by myself. And, maybe twice a week I was going down there and just drinking beers by myself, and even coming home and drinking beer by myself. And it was taking me over. And I guess I didn't realize how much it was. And then when you talk to other people, they're like, well, it's not bad to have, a couple beers after work, and I would make myself feel okay about that because I would hear other people say it. And though inside I knew that I couldn't just have a couple, and that when I got off of work, like how excited I was to get to the liquor store. That was like my happiness after I left work. Like I couldn't wait to like go home and open a beer and then do what? Because as soon as I drank that first beer, I was like, sluggish, right? They're like, what am I going to do what am I going to do now? So, I mean, and I didn't think about it like that. I just did what I did. And to be honest, I don't know. a lot of that time was spent just probably scrolling the internet. When I could be doing, more productive things with my life, like this, for instance, and I was working on my life coaching certification that whole time when I could have been finished by now, but I chose alcohol over, doing my testing at night, those type of things. I'm not going to say that I gave up on myself completely because I didn't, but I definitely could have finished by now. And that, looking back on that, that's very disappointing. And on top of that, I have kids at home, and it became this like they were on my nerves because I was just like, I just want to sit here and enjoy my beer, and that's sad, like and now I'm just like, I don't feel that like tension or anything. I just feel very like, okay, and even at work, like I don't, like things don't bother me like they used to. And I mean, part of that is, the mindset that I have and working on my mental health and being emotionally intelligent. I mean, that has a lot to do with it. But alcohol will make you think things and do things that, like you wouldn't even believe. Like I said, just listening to that book it's mind blowing. And it made perfect sense to me. I was like, yeah, I understand why I did all those things now. And, I mean, maybe I can, touch someone else's life. Maybe one of you out there is struggling with alcohol addiction. And, I am so thankful that I have the mindset of once I'm done, I'm done. Like that is it. And I was a smoker for so many years, and I quit smoking cigarettes in 2018. And this is the reason, is because I was talking to a guy and he was like, that's fucking disgusting, right? And I was like, well, I'll show you disgusting, and I never picked up another cigarette after that day. But to be honest, like everybody crosses your path for a reason. And that was his reason to cross my path. And I could not be more thankful, but I'm also thankful for my mindset that I'm able to just say enough is enough. You're done. And, that's what I did with alcohol. I decided this one weekend, I was like, okay, I'm done today. It was a Saturday night. I was like, I'm done drinking beer. And I left beer in my refrigerator just so it was like, an empowerment for me. So I didn't go to the fridge and reach for it. As a matter of fact, they're still in there after 90 days. So if anybody wants some cranberry Bud Light seltzers, I have those, and one Mick Ultra left. So I have no desire to do it. And I think that's where it is. It's like, you just have to get into that mindset. And this is for anything that you want to do in your life, whether you want to start something, a business, you want to go back to school, you want to take an art class. I mean, whatever it is that you want to do, all it is having that mindset and letting go of the fear. And I know it sounds easy, but once you get there, it is easy. I will say that while it hasn't been hard for me, I haven't been out too often, but the times I have been out, it's different. It's not hard, but it's different because used to be, I don't know, Amy would call me and say, hey girl, you want to go to dinner tonight? I'm like, yeah, let's go have a couple beers. Everything revolved around the alcohol. As a matter of fact, I just said this to my friend Amy over the weekend because she and I went out and I was like, this is where it gets different, because I'm like, I don't have to drink to have a good time. If anybody knows me, y'all know I'm crazy and wild and happy, but I don't need that. But my life did revolve around that. And so it's different. It's just an adjustment like anything else in your life is, that you start something, you have to adjust to it. And it, I don't know. I just, like I said, I can't be more thankful that I have that mindset that just like when it's over, it's over. And I think anybody has that ability. It's just being able to believe in yourself. I meditate every single night now before I go to bed. And, there were nights where I didn't do that because I was like, oh, well, I got a buzz so I can just fall asleep or, easier. And I think that people really think that they drink beers to relax, but your brain is not in a relaxed state when you drink. It definitely is a downer, but it's not a relaxer. But I had that mentality. I definitely had that mindset of like, man, I'm just going to drink a couple beers so I can sleep good tonight, But reality is you're not sleeping well when you drink. So I'll just drink my caffeine instead. by the way, which is all natural. And so, you know, it's not bad for me. It doesn't give me the jitters and all that kind of stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But I think a lot of it too just has to do with like believing in yourself. You don't need another person to tell you, hey, Susie, you need to quit doing this because XYZ. Or I think you should stop doing this because XYZ. If you're unhappy with something that you're doing to yourself, then you need to write about it, understand what it is that, because I think a lot of times, and especially for me in the situation of drinking, was I was so upset with myself. Every single time I would tell myself, I'm not going to the liquor store today. I'm not going to the liquor store today. I'm not going to the liquor store today. And I would go to the liquor store because it just really became part of my routine, right? I mean, that's a lot of it, is setting that routine. That's sad. I mean, I think about that, you know, even saying it out loud and sharing this with other people. That's what my mind did, you know, or like I would get home and think that I had, I don't know, 5 beers in that, you know, case that I left in there the night before, and there were 3. And I'm like, oh man, but if I just had 4 left, I would feel like, you know, a little bit better about myself, you know, or about the situation, because what if I want one more? And I would go get more. So not only like just, you know, that mindset of like, that was controlling me. And that's what I mean by the control. I mean, the beer controlled me all the time. And the money I was spending is absurd. I mean, you think $15 average for a 12 pack, right? And I mean, sometimes I could go 4 times a week. Sometimes I go 3. I mean, it would really just depend on how many beers I drank. If I was on TikTok, it was a lot more, you know, because it's social. So it was like you were drinking with your friends, right? And so, but I think that with anything, it just becomes like part of your routine. And it takes 21 days to create a routine, and then 90 days to build that lifestyle, right? And so now I'm at that 90-day mark just about, and this is my new lifestyle, you know, functioning without alcohol and what I've been doing instead of drinking. And 2, y'all, I really thought, I was like, I'm gonna stop drinking and I'm gonna lose some weight. Well, it turns out it's the opposite of that. And I think it's now because my body was used to having that sugar, you know, from the beer or whatever, but now my body just constantly craves sugar. And so now it's like after 90 days, I'm like, okay, I have to really like balance this out. I have to stop treating my body like this. Plus I had, the very day that I decided to quit drinking was the day that my shoulder started hurting, and that lasted for 6 weeks. So I really wasn't able to work out that whole time either. And so I have to be mindful of that and not be so hard on myself, because I wasn't able to do the things that I was able to do, you know, 8 weeks ago because I had an injury. And so, you know, I'm trying to say to myself, like, and I know I'm not unhappy with myself at all, but you know, we all have flaws, and there are all things, we all have something we don't like about ourselves, or more than one thing, and that's okay. But I think that we just have to give ourselves grace in those areas and not be so hard on ourselves, right? Because like I said, I thought, oh, okay, I'll be losing a little bit of small butt, and I think I've gained weight, and that's okay. I am really happy that my mental health is way better than it's ever been, because I'm able to process my feelings, and I'm not drinking away my sorrows, and I don't really have any other vices, you guys. Like, I don't do anything. I guess that would be eating now. So I eat my feelings instead. But really, I mean, I think that because of all the work that I've done for myself over the last, 5 years, I'm able to deal with my emotions and understand why I feel, certain ways about certain things. Some things I still can't understand, and that's okay. That's part of life, right? We are never going to understand every single thing. But I wanted to share that with you guys because if somebody else is out there struggling with alcohol, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you, be a supporter, an accountability partner, whatever it is you need. Like I said, I don't ever plan to go back that route, and I'm here for anybody, for anything, for that matter. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys listening in, and if you like the video, please like it down here, and please subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. Share it with somebody that maybe needs to hear it. And I will speak more about these issues in the coming episodes, but I hope you all are having an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you soon.